Hello, everyone. It's Richard C. Wilson here from the Family Office Club, and today we're doing a investor mandate interview with Cameron Sheehan from Addepar. Welcome, Cameron.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
Sure. So Adapar is very well known in the family office wealth management space. I saw this morning you guys also work with private banks and broker dealers. I don't run either of those, so that's probably why I wasn't aware of that before. But the private bank part makes complete sense. You have a great reputation, but for those of you who don't know who you are yet, can you maybe summarize the offering in a sentence or two?
Yeah, sure. Addepar is really a reporting suite designed with both family offices and RIAs in mind, and we really specialize in aggregating data for the most complex clients in a lot of ways. So everything from hedge funds, private equity, ownership structures, really kind of a broad view of a client's personal wealth we can model out in the Addepar platform.
Okay, great. Yeah, and I've heard one person who ran an outsourced CIO firm that had a billion plus in assets. He said that if he could spend $5 million and get a aggregated reporting solution that worked for him, he would gladly do it because they've spent far more than that trying to build their own custom solution. I'm
Yep.
sure you guys have spent, 5 million or more, or, many millions building what you guys have. I know it's not simple and it's constantly changing. And I'm sure clients are always wanting that next level of granularity. So this is a huge issue for the industry. And as direct investments increase in frequency and co-investments and co-GP deals, et cetera, it seems like firms like yours are just going to be ever more growing in demand. In terms of your value add process and how you work with clients, I know you work with private banks, broker dealers, wealth management firms, RIAs, and family offices are kind of the four big food
Mhm.
groups that you focus on. For family offices, when you first engage with somebody, I'm guessing you do a needs analysis, or they come to you with a front headache that they're trying to solve. But what does that look like from that first conversation to rolling something out for your typical family office client?
Sure. In the family office space, we typically get approached usually by who I'll term kind of the CIO of the family. Typically, they're looking for a solution to be able to show the family kind of a complete picture of their wealth, but also for their own needs to be able to aggregate data and understand where the investments are and understand the performance of those investments and so forth. So typically, we do start with some level of a needs analysis, really identifying the location of the assets, the ownership structures, kind of the true complexity of the personal wealth. We then design an onboarding plan that fits well with the family, so the family can. We make sure that we understand what their needs are, so we can produce the right things for them. But also the manager, we want to make sure that we get them the information they need as well. So we design an onboarding plan that takes into account both the family and the investment manager.
Okay. And when you look at a big software implementation for like a publicly traded company, many times there might be some pre-built APIs, and there might need to be custom built APIs or custom reports, but you have template reports, and it might just be a tweak of an existing report. How much is your system, every client is very much customized versus how much is 95% of them you kind of plug and play, and which of these 9 modules do you need? And there's not a lot of custom programming. Where do you guys fall in that spectrum?
Yeah, well, the system's really designed so it doesn't need custom programming, but the system is very configurable to meet the family's needs. So there's a lot of upfront work that we do to configure the system to be able to create the appropriate reports for the family. But really, that doesn't require actual development work. We do, however, have a developer portal where clients can integrate with other software platforms, typically general ledger software, that type of stuff that's going to work hand in hand with the Adapar performance reporting solution. So we can configure and set up those through our standard APIs.
Okay. And about 40% of the Family Office Club families that participate in our events and are part of our community are commercial real estate or real estate wealth related. Some of them run commercial real estate investment firms and
Mhm.
management firms, as well as their own family office. Do you have clients that use this within their commercial real estate investment firm if they don't have a family office? I'm sure if they have one, they could use it at the family office level, but where does that line cross where, okay, they have enough of a family office, they need Addepar? How do you guys navigate that conversation?
Well, typically they're coming to us with some level of a need. So whether it's a commercial real estate book, personal wealth, the system is really set up in such a way that it can represent any of those types of investments. So typically it's a combination of both personal wealth and something like a commercial real estate firm, private equity, private investment, things like that. So we really try to address both sides for the client because it's really important for them to understand their total wealth picture. But yeah, we have a lot of real estate assets represented in the platform and some unique ways to structure those investments as well.
Sure, sure. And what is the number one due diligence question a family office should be asking a firm like yours? Maybe because they're not inside Adapar, they don't even know the smartest possible question to ask. But what should they be asking if they're doing their homework on choosing the right, aggregating reporting solution?
Sure. I think the most important question to ask is, how we can, as a group, be able to show them their wealth picture. Typically, our biggest competitor in the space is Microsoft Excel, which, as you know, is, can be pretty configured. However, it's challenging to manage on a day-to-day. So really what they should be asking us is, hey, we have this kind of broad range of investments and different areas where we're trying to show or complete the picture. So how can you guys help us alleviate some of our pain points of all this manual data entry?
Sure. And I'm sure your clients gain a lot of additional insights just from having more time available to interpret and act on data versus finding the error in a spreadsheet or having a
Yep.
report that looks like a high school project versus $1 billion family office, output screen. So I'm sure there's some benefits there, but what's kind of a $100,000 piece of advice we could provide people listening here, either on not wasting fees on a solution that's bad for them, or is there a common insight or a type of insight or advantage that comes from implementing Adapar that you think is sometimes overlooked or not known up front?
Yeah, I think the big thing with us is transparency for the family and being able to get information in real time. And the Adapar solution allows you to do that. Whereas, in the past, I think families are used to, sometimes taking weeks to put together a report so they can see the full picture. Adapar really provides the ability for both the investment manager and the family to have real-time information, full transparency into that data, and then on top of that, be able to make informed decisions on how to allocate those assets because they have it all in real time. So really what our goal is to be able to produce this information at very high quality, also unique structures that are typical in the family office space, but really be able to have that in real time for the client and the advisor.
Okay. And I guess one extra question, just because I'm curious myself, for RAAs and multifamily offices, I'm guessing that for family office quality clientele that do have the more complex reporting needs, that this would have the most value for those types of multifamily offices. But is it also valuable for any wealth management firm? And at what point in assets under management does it economically make sense to be considering Addepar?
Sure, we have clients of all levels of assets. It can be applied to the mass affluent space where you don't need all the complexity. These are all things that can be kind of turned on and off, or functionality that an advisor can choose to use or not to use. So we really cover a very broad range of different types of clients. The uniqueness is in that a lot of systems only do one or the other. So they work really well for the mass affluent, or they can do stuff in the family office space. The Adapar solution is really meant to cover the entire wide range of those clientele. So we find it useful across all those different types of organizations.
Okay, great. And if someone is looking to consider your platform, where's the best place for them to go, or how would you like them to get in touch with you and your team?
The best place to go is to adapar.com, and they can go through a contact us link. Is the easiest way to get in touch with our team and start to take a look at the solution. We typically then like to do kind of a demo and a Q&A session with them and really try to understand their needs. So that's typically the best way to engage with us.
Okay, great. And for those of you not familiar with Addepar, it's two Ds, Addepar. If you want to check out their website, I've known of them for, I don't know, it seems like 7+ years. When did you guys,
Yep.
when were you founded? Was it maybe a decade ago?
Yeah, so we just had our 10-year anniversary last year. And we are approaching the $2 trillion mark. I forget the exact number. I want to be careful that I don't say a wrong number, but I believe our last published was 1.7 trillion on the platform over the last 10 years.
Right. So you've worked with a few clients over the last decade. Yeah,
Yes.
well, I've heard good things about you from a couple dozen clients. So we're happy to be associated with you guys and have you as part of the Family Office Club overall as one of our members. So I appreciate your time here today. And if anyone has questions, of course, they can go to Adapar.com and fill out the form. But also, we're happy to connect you with Cameron and his team if you just want to be connected directly via email. We're happy to get that ball rolling as well. So thanks for your time here today, Cameron.
Yep. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.